What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Avengers Doomsday. So the Russo brothers have been doing the rounds recently on their most recent project, and they've been dropping some F-bombs when it comes to telling us exactly what is going to go down in Avengers Doomsday without actually telling us what is going to go down. So, yo, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around, make subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, monsters, pop culture-based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. Could subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on and let me know how freaking excited are you for this year with Marvel. We have Daredevil, Born Again coming very soon. We also have Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four. And then it will spiral into Avengers 5 and 6. Also, if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram. Although, I know I keep saying this, when my new studio setup is complete, I will be coming on camera a lot more. And also, check us out on Twitter. Warstu G. Right, let's get into it. So, very interesting. The Russo brothers have officially come out and said they are starting to shoot the movie very, very soon. Now, what is interesting about this movie is, and Secret Wars, is they are filming in England. And that gives me an advantage massively, because when it comes to talking about budget, Marvel cannot sugarcoat and lie like they did with Captain America 4. Because when you film in England, the taxpayers in the UK are kind of funding Hollywood movies. Why? Because you get up to a 33% tax break to film movies in the UK. It's a government scheme. I don't know why they think filming movies in the UK brings tourism to the UK, but they have to publicly reveal the data, the budget. They have to publicly reveal this information. So that's interesting. Also, I know someone who's actually going to be working on this movie, which is interesting. Why? Why is it interesting? Because when all these fake-ass Twitter scoopers come out with information, I have a direct source who can tell me exactly what is going on when stuff leaks and stuff. I'm not saying I'm going to leak stuff, but when these fake-ass Twitter scoopers, you know exactly who I'm talking about, come out with nonsense, I can actually verify the information pretty darn fast. So, the storyline for Avengers Doomsday has been teased in a way. So most comic book Marvel fans assume this is just going to be leading up to Hickman's run of Secret Wars and we're going to get a battle world. But they've said very radical interest in the Russo bros teased the next Avengers movie at a recent premiere. It's very interesting. So Avengers Doomsday and the following Secret Wars will be Joe and Anthony Russo's first return to the MCU since Infinity War. The movies will see the likes of Robert Downey Jr. return as Dr. Doom rather than Iron Man, although he will be Iron Man at the same time, but we'll get onto that. So it's actually Joe Russo that teases to the Hollywood Reporter, saying this: tease an exciting and radical story in Avengers Doomsday, saying it will challenge audiences. So what does this mean? It means it's not going to be what you expect it to be. Now, the main issues that some of the audience had with Avengers Infinity War and Endgame is they didn't really kill anyone off. Yes, Thanos snapped half the universe away, but they all came back, didn't they? Except for Iron Man. So radical changes might mean there's going to be actual deaths. I don't think it's going to be one-to-one like Secret Wars was, because let's be honest, this movie is going to be an origin story, essentially, for Dr. Doom. Russo's admitted that to answer what they are or are not looking for when it comes to new faces in the movie, he would probably be given too much away. Still, he's confirmed that they are always looking for new faces as there's always new stories to tell. That is interesting. That would probably be giving too much away. I think we're always looking for new faces because there's always a new story to tell. He tells Deadline in a different interview, anybody in the Marvel bag could show up. Interesting. The Russos also shared with THR that beyond the question of who he thinks in the movies, he thinks both Avengers Doomsday and the following Avengers Secret Wars will be a surprise to people. Russo's explained that he feels they found a way into the story that is described exciting and radical. And also, it's worth saying, filming in England means the leaks, the behind-the-scenes images, and everything that came out during Infinity War and Endgame is going to be a lot harder to get out. You know why? Deadpool and Wolverine, filmed in the UK. We literally got nothing. Supergirl, different studio, kind of in the similar location-ish, give or take. you know, a bit of distance. Supergirl's been filming for over a month. Nothing has got out yet. So it's going to be harder for people to get leaked information. The article goes on to say, ultimately, he believes it will challenge audience. I think this like refers to there's going to be deaths. And I think these movies are going to be a surprise to people. We found a way into the story that's very exciting to us, but we think it's very radical. And I think it's going to be a challenge for the audience. Russo explains on the idea of the moving, aiming to challenge audiences with deadlines, saying that it's also challenging for the Russo brothers to execute. Yes, because they are filming back to back to back to back. What does that mean? They're going to be shooting Avengers Doomsday, have a little break. Secret Wars, that is the best way. And they most likely will be starting VFX as soon as they start actual production, so they can't have the problems that every other movie's had with bad CGI. I think we found a way into the story that we think is going to be challenging for audiences. It's challenging for us to execute, and it's really exciting. What can audiences expect for Avengers Doomsday? If the Russo brothers have proven anything, it is that they know the events of the MCU very well, and that is why it's good. So they essentially tease new faces, new stories, and exciting plots. So I think every single person that's been covering stuff like this, I don't know if anyone's actually on the ball with what they're saying, which is interesting. They also have said they are shooting back to back, which is very good because it's a continuation of a story. Sure, there might be other movies in between. For instance, Spider-Man 4 literally comes out in between both the movies, but obviously we don't know chronologically when they're going to be released. And Marvel does have a problem because Anthony Mackie is now Captain America, although he didn't really seem like Captain America. So he says this. So I'll have to figure out who's going to be in the new Avengers. That's the perk of being Captain America. I get to pick who I want to hang out with. I'm sorry, Sam Wilson, aka Anthony Mackie. You have literally no say. I know you're actually talking about the character in a movie format, but you literally get the script. You literally have no creative say in who is going to be in the new Avengers. It's pretty obvious who is going to be in the new Avengers because there is no Captain America other than the new Captain America. There is no Iron Man. The old squad, there's no Black Widow. We pretty much can work out who is chronologically going to be in this movie. Now, over the next few weeks, you're going to hear every single wannabe scooper saying absolute nonsense about who is going to be in the movie. But we already know the main cast will be in it, i.e. Robert Downey Jr., i.e. Doctor Strange, i.e. Spider-Man. And also, I know Chris Evans debunked this, but not really, because we know what's going to happen, right? Chris Evans is going to be in this movie. He's not going to be playing Captain America. He's going to be like an evil version, essentially mirroring Captain America, if you like. And this is going to be the case for all the main Avengers. We're going to have a multiversal mirror image of themselves. That is why Robert Downey Jr. will actually be Iron Man, and he will be Doctor Doom as well. They're going to be essentially taking on the evil version of themselves. I believe, and from what everything I understand have been told, that is still going to be the case. And I think that is very freaking weak if that is going to be the case. Now, I can't say if Kang is going to get at the start of this movie, but he should. Because that story is so loose, we still don't know what's going on with it. Yes, sure, they kind of have wrapped it up, but not really, because right at the end of Loki Season 2, Ramatut is still out there. We know that Loki, Thomas Hiddleston, is going to be in this movie because he's holding everything together, so Doctor Doom's going to have to pay him a visit. So we know the Fantastic Four will be in the movie, the Thunderbolts will be in this movie, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans playing a version of Hydra, Anthony Mackie, Benedict Cumberbatch as obviously Doctor Strange, Tom Holland, and you know, I'm going to have to say it, Warstu. And yes, we also know, although it's not really confirmed, Thor, Chris Hemsworth is in London, but don't be like that TikTok at the block me. He's currently in London for shooting another movie, nothing to do with Avengers 5, although he is one of the biggest hitters in Marvel Cinematic Universe, so he will be in it. So it's going to get more interesting when they actually get closer and closer to filming the movie. But like I say, there's going to be a lot of nonsense going around. And I know someone working on the set of literally this movie. So it's going to be really interesting for me to actually know exactly what is going on. So these nonsense information, although this is actually coming from the Cosmic Circus, which I actually like, it says that Joaquin Torres, the new Captain Falcon, the new Falcon, is going to be in Doomsday and Secret Wars, which literally makes no sense because we don't need him there. But I guess Marvel's going to throw in a bunch of characters for the sake of it. So, also in the news, allegedly, this is now canon. So, a Marvel comic book came out recently, and in the Marvel comic book, it featured Scarlet Witch in a TVA comic. And it is indeed Elizabeth Olsen, because somebody that worked on it answered a question. Is Elizabeth Olsen the Scarlet Witch? They said, yeah. Oh, yep, I'm excited now. So this has been going around the internet probably the last day or so. But this essential panel tells you exactly what is going on with the Scarlet Witch. So now people on the internet saying this comic is canon to the MCU, but is it though? We don't know. That Wanda is now in the TVA. Is she in the TVA? We don't know. She might be. But obviously, the Scarlet Witch has to make an appearance in Doomsday. There was that plot going around that that Scarlet Witch and Doctor Doom were gonna have some romantic relationship. We know she's a fan favorite. Sure, bro, that doesn't necessarily mean she's going to be in it. But literally, the internet and the Scarlet Witch fans are freaking out because of this panel that Scarlet Witch was in. So maybe she is in the TVA in some kind of contamination unit or panel, whatever. But the TVA has captured her, it looks like, in the comic book. The comic book series is canon to the MCU, allegedly. It may just reveal how Wanda Maximoff survived the event of Multiverse Madness. And one of the comic writers essentially confirmed that it's true. But until it shows up in the MCU, we don't know. So it's pretty damn cool. So like always, guys, I will catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.